Apparently, Ellen DeGeneres has got an investigation on her. I don't know what the F it is.
It was, so I don't think it was her. I think it was her crew. That was the issue.
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't read much into it yet.
I don't really care that much.
I expect I will.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Do you watch Ellen DeGeneres, the show?
No, but I follow the news.
Okay.
It's interesting.
I watched like the first 2 minutes of one of her shows, and she this DJ started playing music, and then the whole crowd started dancing and stuff, and then they're like, and it's Ellen DeGeneres, and she comes out, she starts dancing, and she points to the DJ, and he starts dancing, and then it goes back to her, and she's dancing, and then it goes to the commercials, and I'm like, well,
the crowd always has a very weird energy on that show.
It's so weird.
I've only watched the the game show thing that she does.
Yeah.
And it's all right. Sometimes it's funny.
I never really watched Ellen.
I liked her a lot better when she was doing stand-up. That was her
she
only.
Still does stand-up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I think she just did a special last year on Netflix.
Yeah, she did. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Netflix did this thing where they added you know how they have that thing where you can skip the theme song?
Yeah. Heresy, as I call it.
Yeah. But they also added this thing that's very much like that, where it's called watch it again or whatever, and if you click on it, then it goes back 5 seconds and you can watch that clip again.
Oh.
It was weird. And they put it in Ellen's show. And I was like,
not horrible.
Oh, you know what? I actually don't hate that. Because there's sometimes, even in comedy specials when I watch them, that I'm like, hold on, what just happened? The big one was, if you guys ever watched Mike Birbiglia's The New One. So it's a Broadway show that he did, recently. And he's talking about being a reluctant father. And at one point he's talking about all the stuff that they get for babies. And he starts to walk forward to the stage really slowly as he's talking. And he gets to the front, and then all of a sudden all this all these toys and stuff bunches just fall from the ceiling. Just and it's just it scares the crap out of everyone. But I missed it. I think I was cooking something, and I turned back. I was like, "What the heck?" And I had to rewind it. So I like that. I like that option.
They don't use it enough though. I think it was only in hers.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's probably just something they're trying out.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Wildcast. Welcome to the Wildcast, where Studio 76 does a podcast. I know it's short, but it's gotta last. So sit down and enjoy, you'll have a blast.
Welcome to the Wildcast, everyone. Today it's us.
It's just us.
It's just us.
Isn't that a show? Isn't that a show?
Huh?
Us?
This is us. Yeah, that's a show.
This is us. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Today we're going to jump into Cameron's deep-seated insecurities in depth.
Yes.
And we're going to talk them out. Just really try our hand at therapy here.
First one is my insecurity about podcasts.
Oh, no. What are you doing here?
I have a huge fear of podcasts, and
just the idea in general, or specifically being on them.
It's kind of great.
Yes.
I have a fear of you being on
Listening to
podcasts, so it works.
actually, I kind of get bored. In truthfulness, I kind of get bored watching podcasts. Or I guess not watching them, but listening to them. Because
I don't watch podcasts.
I'd rather watch something, and listening to it, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do something else.
I listen to podcasts whenever I mow the lawn.
Oh, okay.
I listen to podcasts more than I listen to anything else on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, I hardly ever listen to music on my phone. It's like 98% just podcasts.
Do you just not listen to a lot of music, period, or do you like
Not
listen
really,
to it on? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, I have music that I listen to, but I prefer to listen to a podcast. I don't know why. It just my brain likes it.
My brain likes it. Yeah. What about like when you drive?
Podcast, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I just
I
listen to music.
like
Crap
when I
ton of
mow
music.
lawn, if I'm preparing food for a meal, if I'm eating a meal, if I'm not watching TV, I'm listening to a podcast pretty much while I'm working.
Like I want to start doing that, but I like want to go like on drives just at night during the summer and just like roll my windows down and then I'll listen to the podcast. So that just sounds nice.
That's a good time.
Sounds nice. I live by a bunch of fields, so I can just drive back and forth through all the fields. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Like one of those Hicks.
No, because I'm in my tiny Nissan Sentra. That is definitely has broken struts on it, so it almost feels like a ticking time clock before it breaks down. I have to buy a new one, or I just fix the struts. So it's either I pay half the value of the car to fix it, or I buy a new car.
I feel you there. My
I'm
car
conflicted.
recently failed its emissions test,
Hmm.
and so I had to spend about a little over $400 repairing it,
Oh,
and
That's
on top
not
of
bad.
the cost for registration, and you have to drive it around, and then hopefully it passes the second time around. If it doesn't, then start looking for a new car, which I really don't want to do.
How old is your car now?
It's a 2002,
Oh, okay.
so
It's getting there.
18 years old.
Yeah.
I did it.
I had a 2003 Mazda Protege, but it broke down in high school. I got rid of it.
Dang.
I'm surprised this car's been around as long as it has. It's a Ford Explorer, and it's not. I don't feel like it's ever been that good of a car. Like, it's dependable or whatever, but like it's always kind of stunk a little bit.
That's the emissions failure.
Yeah, hence the emissions failure.
I am terrible with cars, with like how to fix them, like what goes on.
Oh yeah,
And so
me too, dude.
whenever it comes to me like fixing my car or taking it into a mechanic, I always feel like they have like two objectives. It's like one, fix my car, so many parts or whatever, and two, and it's just embarrass me as much as possible. For instance, I recently had to buy a new battery. Because my dad, like, my battery died. I was like, why did my battery die? I didn't have anything like on overnight or anything. I checked everything. And so I had my dad give me a job, and he's just like, your battery's old. Like,
Yeah.
you need a new one. So I went over to AutoZone, and I'm like, hey, I just need a new battery. And they're like, do you mean a core? I'm like, I just need a battery. And they're like, well, they're called cores if it's in a car. And I'm like, okay, then I need a core.
I feel like that guy was just messing with you because I've never heard it called a core. So it's just a
Apparently-
battery.
I've always heard it called a battery. And
Yeah.
and they pull they pull out the battery, and I pay for it, and they're like, do you want to do an installation now? And I was like, yes. And they're like, okay. And so they pull the battery out and they put the other one in, and then they're like, do you want us to take the old battery? I mean core. That's how they said it. And I'm like,
Now we got beef.
yeah. Oh, so you don't know. Or it's actually people refer to it as a battery.
Yeah.
I just feel like
They could
people
just-
are just
They could just smell that you didn't know anything about cars. You didn't
Oh, yeah.
smell of grease, and so they're like,
they're
We're
like,
gonna
oh, he
mess with
drives a
this guy.
Sentra. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I've got a fun internet story that I came across today that I think you would enjoy.
Let's hear it.
So this showed up on Reddit. The credit for the discovery goes to Reddit user no_000, which I guess no is part of this. That recently there was a book from acclaimed Irish novelist John Boyne, which is a historical novel called The Traveller at the Gates of Wisdom, where now fans of Breath of the Wild will immediately notice this. I repeat, it's a historical novel, and the main character is dyeing a dress red. And the paragraph in the book, historical novel, set in this universe, reads as follows. The dyes that I used in my dressmaking were composed from various ingredients depending on the color required, but almost all required nightshade, sapphire, keyswing, the leaves of the silent princess plant, octorok eyeball, swift violet, thistle, and hightail lizard. In addition, for the red I had used for the dress, I employed spicy pepper, the tail of the red lizalfos, and 4 Hylian shrooms. Yeah, that's the story.
That's great.
It's
That's so weird.
yeah, and like it's so weird that can happen. Yeah, like if you Google ingredients red dye clothes, it brings up Breath of the Wild, like apple, spicy pepper, Hylian shroom, red lizalfos, tail, fire,
Hey,
keyswing.
Dog's whining.
I'm like, are you dying, Cameron?
Are you dying, Cameron?
My internet literally just died on me.
I like all the 8 pixels that you got going on there. They're just shuffling around.
I need to move rooms. Hold on.
Oh, and the book takes place. The main character is a dressmaker at the court of Attila the Hun, which makes it even weirder. There's a review in the Irish Times that is just scalding. Is Cameron gone again?
He's moving. He's walking upstairs.
Okay. Where they said, Boyne establishes the historical integrity of his set piece. Pre-conquest Central Americans know European myths, and pre-conquest South Americans have Spanish names. An Irish monk circa 8800 quotes Liam Neeson in Taken. A dressmaker at the court of Attila the Hun makes dyes out of items from the Nintendo game Zelda.
Oh my gosh.
So it seems like the whole game is full of just nonsense.
How do I mute Cameron?
You mute Cameron. How are you gonna make? He's not showing up in my. Okay, now he's showing up. I switched to gallery view. He just wasn't there. So he's just. Let's follow Cameron. He's walking.
What a podcast host who just interrupts his guests.
Hey, I'm back.
So what are your thoughts, Cameron?
I think that the Hylian shroom is definitely an Easter egg.
Oh no! We moved on to the
missed all
Kennedy
that?
assassination.
Oh,
Okay. So you missed
it
all that.
was 2 bullets, and one of them was John Wick,
Yeah.
but there was actually
Keanu would never do that.
No, it was John Wick.
Keanu.
Are you sure he was an assassin way before he was like, oh goody, like
John Wick?
Yeah, John Wick.
From my understanding, he was never goody.
Okay, yeah, but like before he started killing all the other assassins, he was definitely an assassin, and he could have killed anybody.
Yeah.
It's like
Sure.
Jason.
Keanu Reeves was Keanu Reeves before he was John Wick, so.
Well, there's a separation here of character.
It's
and
called
actor.
reality and fiction.
Yeah. And there weren't
Back
2
to my
shooters in the Kennedy
conspiracy theory.
assassination. Is there a plug right here?
I feel like this is like we're towing the line here of
I went through
getting
my
demonetized.
middle school phase of watching History Channel documentaries about that.
Is that a teenager phase? If so, I skipped it.
Yeah, I skipped that too.
Yeah. History Channel? I no.
Yeah, where there'd be like the truth behind the grassy knoll and stuff.
Speaking of Kennedy assassination, I just watched Umbrella Academy season 2, which
What?
includes that.
Oh, it does.
Interesting. Talks about the grassy knoll too.
Interesting.
It's very It's a good show.
I'm gonna pick that show up.
I will say season 2 is better than season 1, but it's quirky and a little offbeat, but still a good show.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Umbrella Academy.
You don't know?
Did I say that?
Academy. No, I didn't
Is that
hear
what I
that.
said?
Yeah, that is what you said.
Okay, I was like, did I just never mention the name and just Collins knew immediately?
I knew you. Yeah, I knew you. Yeah, you said it was an Umbrella Academy.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
I
missed
caught that
part.
immediately. I caught that immediately, man.
Yeah, good show.
Yeah, it is a good show. I think it's acted weird though. I'm not a big fan of some of the actors.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually really like the actors.
Like the one
You
character.
hating on Ellen Page?
No, I love her, dude. But
She doesn't know
the
who
guy
you are.
that plays like that gorilla man, I don't know what he is.
Oh yeah.
He's strong. It's so obvious that he's in a suit the whole time, and then.
He's in Black Sails.
Oh really?
Oh
Yeah, he plays Billy Bones, the guy who dies at the beginning of Treasure Island.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's sad.
Yeah.
Does he die in Black Sails?
No, because they don't.
It doesn't go that far.
It doesn't
Okay.
go that far. Yeah, because there's a time jump between the two, but yeah.
I just feel like, Cameron, you get on these stints sometimes where you just you criticize like acclaimed shows, and it just weirds me out sometimes. It's like, I thought it was good, and you're like, no, they suck, they're garbage, and they should quit right now. Time to retire. You belong at Dunkin' Donuts. Like,
Well, there are some shows like Marvel's, a lot of stuff that they're doing now. It's just
I don't.
they started with like good stuff, and they had like what's it called, like a goal of what they wanted to do, and they were like doing what they wanted, and then they kind of got to a point where they had so many fans that people stopped noticing some of the little errors that they had, and then their errors got bigger and bigger until it just became Endgame, and it was like, yeah, okay.
Whoa, this is a hot take.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were taking that.
And you shut
We were
up.
talking-
How do you
we were
hear it
talking-
still?
I thought we were talking about TV shows, and
Yeah.
you started ragging on.
Because you
Endgame.
literally said
I was
Marvel.
about to talk about how people have been saying that the current season, the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that's on right now is like the best season they've had so far. And I'm so mad because I fell behind on Hulu and they delete episodes every few weeks. So I can't catch up.
I hate it when like streaming services do that, because Netflix does it too on some. That's why I've never finished The Good Place. It's because I missed it. It went on and it went off.
I don't.
That was a
wanna
good show. I like that.
It was very low budget in terms of graphics, and you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But
Well, there was
it
this
was a
one
funny
shot
show.
at like the end of the first season. I'm not gonna go into it, but you could very much tell that was like 90% of their budget was right there in the one shot. And I was like, oh well, there you go.
Let me see. Because I swear they like even keep going back to it. Like, you could tell when they had a high budget shot because they would keep on like cutting back to it and showing it like over and over. And it's like, yeah, it's because they're trying to get their money's worth. They spent so much on it. They're like, well, we got to show it more than once. I can't even tell you what it is. The start of the second season was the worst CGI shot I've ever seen in my life, of a train moving through just a void.
Yeah.
So visually appealing, nah, but it was a funny show.
It's a story. It's one of those shows. It's like the writer was excellent, but then no one else could keep up with him.
Yeah, I love Michael Schur.
Yeah.
He's a good writer.
That sounds about right.
Maybe I just don't. Maybe it's Greg Daniels who drug down The Office. Maybe that's why. Here's my hot take. I think The Office isn't as funny as everyone says it is. It has its funny moments, but it's not. It's not like the best show of all time.
Yeah, the thing about The
or
Office is
anywhere
like
close.
every episode they have like one funny joke, and they build up the whole episode to it. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's your episode. Have fun. Nice for the joke. Come back next week.
And before that, it's just nothing. It's just
Yeah.
like they're just going throughout their day. It does have its funny moments, but then you can tell that it's not many of them because you get like these Office fan pages on like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter that they post the same 5 moments
Exactly. Yeah.
over and over again because despite there being 10 years of television, like there's only that many moments.
Right.
So I think
There's
that,
like 10 Office jokes that people quote.
yeah
10 being a little generous. Usually it's like 3.
yeah
Yeah.
that's about
Like there are
that's
7 seasons and you only have 10. Come on.
but
Like
I
you can watch
say-
one of those like Facebook video compilations of funny Office moments, and then that's the gist of the entire show.
honestly.
Yeah.
And I think that
You know the
like
type I'm talking
because and then Greg Daniels goes and creates Upload on Amazon Prime.
about.
Mm.
I heard that show's not very good.
Is that
Very
that
rough.
one with Robbie Amell?
Yeah.
Okay.
think so.
I feel bad for Robbie Amell personally because it seems like every year Robbie Amell is cast in a new ambitious TV series that gets 1 season and then gets canceled.
What else was he in?
Tomorrow People was one.
See, I've never even heard of that.
Okay, you want me to look? Yeah, I'm gonna look up Robbie Amell's IMDb
Just do it.
because it feels like it happens a lot. Like if I see him in, I'm like, oh no, he's great, but he just has bad luck.
There's this one show that I watched I really liked and then they canceled. I don't remember what it was called.
Okay, let's
Like-
see.
Mind Games or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, Upload. He was in Series of Unfortunate Events as a minor character, and he was very good. He was in 3
Okay.
episode.
But that one's
Usually he's like the main character
X
though.
Files. He was in The Flash.
Yeah.
Oh right, he died. That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, sorry.
Spoilers.
Sorry, people for The Flash. Yeah, he dies. Yeah,
don't
it's
want
either,
it.
it's
Like
either
the
the show gets
second
canceled
season.
or it's either the show gets canceled or his character dies.
Yeah.
Chasing Life. That looks like that got one episode actually. He was in Watch Modern Family. Tomorrow People. He was in that. Yeah.
sounds like there's only 2.
Revenge.
Well, he's a TV actor, so
Revenge lasted a long time.
Alcatraz.
I don't remember there being
True
a-
Jackson VP. Yo, if you remember that show, then
Maybe I just
you were a kid/teen in 2008 to 2011.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why.
How I Met Your Mother. He was in the 2.
Who was he in How I Met Your Mother?
he was your mother.
Scooby. He was a character named Scooby, and then he was also in the
Scooby.
he was in the reboot Scooby Doo.
That's
movie.
ironic.
As
Really?
Fred.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
and the trailer was like, and this time Fred isn't blonde. And that was like a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I remember that one.
Yeah,
It was like this weird
Scooby-Doo,
origin
yeah.
story.
Yeah, Mystery Begins, and then the year later, Curse of the Lake Monster.
Never even watched Curse of the Lake Monster.
They've
I
only
just
watched
don't think
it
I
once.
watched-
It's not as many as I thought, but
I realized that I watch a lot of TV, but it seems like I just don't watch the shows that you guys watch.
Yeah.
Like, we watch like the exact opposite shows, and it's really funny. It's like, I will tell you about a show, and you'll be like, I've never seen that before or heard of it before in my entire life. And then you guys mention a show, and I'm like, no clue. What are you guys even talking about?
Well, have you seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
yeah.
No, I
Oh.
didn't because it just didn't sound interesting to me. But then I watched like Daredevil and Punisher, and those I liked.
Mm-hmm.
But the other
Wow.
the other Marvel shows I struggle with.
Yeah, I'd say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a lot of seasons to get into, but like it has like when it's good, it's really good, and it never gets like bad, but
I guess I just like
It's a
darker,
lot.
grittier TV shows, which is kind of depressing. But
then you would love Doom Patrol. It is.
Oh yeah.
Doom Patrol, like me just looking at the previews, I'm like, this just looks so weird.
But it
Yeah.
has Alan Tudyk in it.
It has. He's only in the first season. Alan Tudyk's
really?
not in the second season. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, and like they go to where his character left off, and they're like, "What happened to this guy?" And the guy's like, "Oh, he got some deal with some animated bullcrap, so he's not here." And then an ad for the Harley Quinn show shows up on the bottom right corner of the screen.
That's good.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that character breaks the fourth wall. It's like a villain who breaks the fourth wall, which is interesting and funny. His character is amazing. I'd say season 1 is better than season 2. But
That's
season 2
usually doesn't happen.
Season 2 is a lot more character driven, and not as many big plot things happen. Season 1 is mostly like big plot stuff. But season 2 is a lot more introspective.
And I do like
weird.
introspective stuff, but I feel like you need to have a nice balance, a healthy balance.
I think not enough has happened in season 2.
So
Like there's like the weird thing that happens each episode, like a spaceship crashes in their front lawn with people who have been in space for 60 years and that wacky hijinks ensue and that sort of thing. Or like the first episode, they all got shrunk down and they have to figure out a way to get big again. That sort of stuff.
Are we still talking about Doom Patrol?
Yes.
Yeah, we're still talking about Doom Patrol.
I don't remember that in the first episode.
Season 2.
Oh.
Spoilers.
I was like, oh, what?
Spoiler. One thing that's really interesting though about Umbrella Academy is like every season, like it's like there's not like structure. It like what am I trying to say? There's not like an overlying structure for how the season's gonna go. Where you're like, if villain is introduced, fight, villain is killed.
Oh yeah.
And then villains introduced. Like it's not like that. There are big changes, but like you never know what's gonna like where they're gonna go next. It's really weird. And it goes into some weird places, which I'm sure if I actually read the comics or whatever, I would get it. But I don't want to do that. Comics are not my thing. And also, I like being surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing with Walking Dead, although I got bored of The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah. How many seasons did you make it through?
Till the end of the war with Negan, and I was done.
I got to right after Terminus.
It gets fun after that, I will say.
Does it? It was like where they had that like mid-season end credit scene of that guy from like season 1 showing back up. The guy who's like son died or whatever. That like the first guy that
Morgan.
When it's like the end credit stinger of him showing back up.
Okay. He's a really interesting character. It's just I hate the thing of characters are introduced, they form bonds with everyone, and then they die. At the peak of their character development, they just die, and I'm like, this is such a depressing thing, and I just don't want to watch it.
That was right at the point where, like, with like the hospital stuff, where if we don't care about spoilers, okay.
It's
Beth,
fine.
I think
it's been
was
running
her name,
so
where
long.
Beth dies after the hospital stuff.
Beth.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh, this character's coming back." I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. When she died, that sucked.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I know a lot of people that are like, as long as Daryl's alive, I'm gonna keep watching. Like that's the only reason that a lot of people are probably still watching.
Daryl and Carol are the only 2 original characters remaining on the show right now. Yeah.
Really? Did Michonne die, or did she just like peace out?
She left.
Oh.
Rick left. Michonne left to go find Rick, and so they're gonna do a movie that fills in the spaces. Carl dies. The mom dies. Freaking Glenn dies. That's the worst one. That's the one that really pissed me off.
That was when my sister stopped watching. Was when Glenn died.
Like, Glenn did not deserve to die. That made me mad. Although he does die in the comics.
Yeah. Everyone does in the comics, just in a different order.
Yeah. And that's stupid. And I hate that.
Yeah.
Someone has to make it out.
I think like
how do you even make that out though?
You know what? I think if they have Rick actually come back, they could still save the show. But I think they're losing a lot of viewership now that Rick's gone. Because, like, I felt like he was, like, the main drive of the story.
Mm-hmm. And
like,
it's like every season they're like, they do the thing again and again, where every season it's like, but wait, what if people are the real monsters?
Oh, you have the same theme.
And then they expect everyone to applaud them for just delving into philosophy or something.
Yes. Like,
yeah, we get it.
Well, then, from what I understand, after Rick leaves, they go kind of back into like the walkers, or like, and they kind of like tap into like a horror aspect. Like they try to get back into that.
Yeah.
But then they go right back into it.
Yeah, they rode the wave of the resurgence of zombie popularity, but then they just like kept going and going after zombies were not really popular anymore.
I think they should have ended it early, not really going with the comics.
Yeah. Although now, like, we might see a zombie.
Dying.
We might see zombies rise in popularity again because, like, Last of Us 2 and yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Zombieland 2.
Last of Us 2.
I think The Last of Us has a very strong narrative. I think a stronger narrative than what Walking Dead has.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But hey,
Walking Dead becomes more and more ensemble. Whereas Last of Us, you just got like 2 characters in the first game. Yeah, but what's wrong with this picture?
What's wrong? Oh, yeah. We have like 1 minute left.
Do it
quick. Do it quick.
Okay. Rapid fire, what's wrong with this picture?
But first, a quick ad.
Yeah, quick ad.
This podcast is sponsored by my dog. I don't know.
Get your dog.
I thought you were gonna do something serious for like 2 seconds there.
2 seconds?
Yeah,
I'm not that good.
I thought it was a joke.
Let's see that.
I thought it was a bit. Then I thought it was a joke again.
I don't have a bit.
Serious bit.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like a bit as part of the thing.
Yeah.
Everything we do on this show is a bit.
Pretty much, yeah.
What's wrong with this picture?
Okay.
It says press escape or double click. Ah.
Oh, what?
Okay, so that's a one-way street. Goes one way that way, so you're... Oh. Nope, never mind. That still makes sense.
Yeah, still makes sense.
Maybe you're talking about the fire hydrant?
The fire hydrant blends into the wall behind it.
I was going to say the fire hydrant was right in the way of the walkway.
Oh, that is also an issue.
Yeah, stupid city planners. Is that a bike just sitting on the ground?
I think it's crashed into a pole. I think is that what that is.
Where's my guy at?
Yeah, it's just crashed into a pole and then someone left it.
That, or they chained it up to the pole
and then it slid
and
down.
someone tried to steal it and then they're like, I can't get it off. Lazy bike robbers. I don't know. It's very colorful. Part of me would want to live on a street like this.
Okay, so they also have 2 stop signs. Here and here.
And 3 if you count the writing on the ground.
Yeah. Why? What is with all the redundancy? They have one way on both sides of the street, but it's one way.
They start out with
I don't know.
one.
I've been on a few streets that do that actually.
They started with just 1 sign. And then someone got into an accident and they sued the city. So they added a second one. And then it happened again, and so they added the 3rd one.
Well, but a lot of stop signs have that paint on it already. The second stop sign, that's a little weird.
possibly
Yeah.
someone just put it up by themselves. Like we've got a dead end next to our house that like tourists coming to the reservoir go down by accident all the time. So we've like bought and put up a dead end sign on and like attached it to the street.
Nice.
The street sign there. So it's possible that people could have attached their own stop signs.
But their own green pole.
No, the pole. There's an existing pole that we used.
Yeah.
Like it's got a stop sign on the other end of it, and we put a wrong turn sign on the other end of it.
So
a dead end.
Over at Fremont, near Fremont, there's a little street over by like this old. So they have an old city square. There's a little street over by like this old. So they have an old city square where it used to stuff like a whole bunch of stuff used to be, and then they all moved away, and it became like really just kind of like ghost town spooky vibes. But they have like a couple places over there where like the people are really mad about people speeding, because they have these roads that like it looks like a road that you could easily go 40 down, but their speed limit is like 30. And they got like stop signs, and so they make these really big stop signs just for those streets, and they strap them on either side of the road. And I'm sure it's just because like all the people in the area are just complaining about people like speeding through stop signs and stuff.
That's nuts.
In short, I hate where I live.
Yeah.
We've got a crappy intersection where one way, like this way, there's stop signs. This way, there's not. There's just yield signs because it's just a. But people will think that the yield is a stop sign. So you'll be stopped here, and then someone will come here and stop, and you're like,
Go.
"Go!
Yield right away."
You don't have a stop sign. The yield is for pedestrians, not me."
I've seen people do that on a two-way stop, like without the yield signs, and you see them stop, and you're like, What are you doing? Go.
There you go.
So is this a two-parter?
Yeah, it's gonna be two-parter now. We already.
No, that's the end of the episode.
Well, we don't have
Hey,
anything to link yet.
Smash that like and subscribe.
Trust me, I'm a
button.
good editor.
Smash that button.
Sure to ding that bell.
Smash that like button.
Break your computer doing it.
Subscribe to my
Smash
OnlyFans.
it. Break your keyboard.
Now that you watch the Wildcast, you can go home and reclaim all the time that's passed. Thanks for watching, everybody.